All right, Maya, are you seeing my screen again? Marketing and KBB Method?
Yes, the whole screen, that's right.
All right, perfect. Okay, so you can go ahead and mute yourself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give everybody who is on the Zoom call and who's interested in what we're talking about here through the recording and the replay, I'm going to go over a little bit about marketing. To be more specific, I'm going to go a little bit about influencer marketing, which is what we all aspire to be, and also what the KBB method is. All right. So what is KBB and why are Maya and I so interested to share this KBB training with the rest of the world? Okay. So basically what KBB is, it's a way for you to get rewarded in public for what you practice in private. Okay, so what does that mean? That means we are all experts in a certain field. We are all able to help people that we know, whether it's friends or family, or we help a group of people because we're professional coaches and we're professional trainers. And when we do that for a business or in our own practice, we're kind of doing it. We do that in private. When we say that in private, that means that nobody in the online world really can see what you're doing. You can only do it for a group of people in a physical room. So our goal is really to help get rewarded in public for what you practice in private. And that's basically what you're an expert in. All right. So we all have this unique knowledge, and our unique knowledge is what makes us good coaches, what makes us good trainers, and what makes us unique. And the question is, with this knowledge, what are the key ingredients that are missing for us to be able to achieve a greater success with an online business, with creating more training programs, workshops, whatever it is, what ingredients are missing? And the question that we first have to start with is, how do we define success? So before we talk about the ingredients, we first have to define success. And how I want to define success is really how KBB, how Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins and Russell Brunson, this is how they define success. So if you're interested in the KBB method and the KBB journey, this is really what you aspire to achieve. And the first one is, you want to impact more people's lives in a positive way. You want to help them make a transformation. So if you're a coach or you're a trainer or you're a teacher or you're an instructor, you're hopefully impacting people's lives in a positive way. You're teaching them a skill. You're teaching them how to overcome some bad habits. You're teaching them how to change their bodies or change their lives, improve their success, whatever it is. The KBB method is really about impacting lives in a positive way more than anything else. Okay. The other definition of success is with all of the training and the coaching that we do in the KBB community, it's about connecting what we do with our why. And what does that mean? That means, what is the greater purpose of our careers, of our mission to help people improve, to help people transform, to help people change our lives? If we can connect our greater why and our greater purpose with something that we want to do in business, then we'll be able to impact a lot more people. All right, so somebody else just joined, so I have to admit more people. Maya, please just communicate with them in the chat that we've already started. All right, so, and the third is helping people transform, which is create a new reality for themselves. So helping the people that we want to serve get from reality A to reality B. And we want to do that by actually charging them money. Okay. And by charging them money, it has a huge psychological impact on whether they are able to make the positive change that they are asking us to help them make. And this has been done through studies over and over again. If I give you something for free, if I give you a training, I give you a method, I give you a program that's going to help you lose weight, but I give it to you for free, you're probably not going to do anything with it. But if I charge you for it and you've actually paid for something, then you're much more likely to be serious about it, to follow the steps, and to actually implement what I'm trying to teach you, and you're going to be able to achieve that transformation. So I'm actually doing you a disservice by giving you something for free, because ultimately you're not going to appreciate something that's free, and it's not going to help you change your life. So we want to charge people for what we have to offer because we think it's going to be a positive influence and transformation for them. So part of the KBB definition of success is also creating a business so that we can actually impact more lives. All right. Let's see. So going back to this, you have a unique knowledge, you have a unique area of expertise, and you want to achieve this KBB definition of success. So now, what are the ingredients and how do you achieve that? So the answer that we're talking about today, obviously, is Maya and I, we both passionately and strongly believe that the KBB method, or the knowledge business blueprint, is really the answer to how do we create a success with our unique knowledge or expertise. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a little bit about what makes KBB special and how is it different from other programs that promise you a successful online business or whatever that is, because that isn't what KBB is all about. So number one, KBB is about massive action, okay? Nothing ever gets accomplished without action. And Maya, we've gone through this over the past year. You always talk about getting stuck. Every time you get stuck, you're stopped taking action. So how do you continue to take action and make forward progress to impacting more lives, to creating a successful business? Well, you have to overcome a couple of things. You have to overcome your limiting beliefs, and you have to overcome your poor habits. Okay, so whatever habits you have, for example, you procrastinate, or you have to be, you're a perfectionist. You want to get everything perfect before you take the next action, or you don't believe you're good enough to help people, or perhaps you just feel that, you know, I'm not a marketing person. I'm not great at getting on a webinar and doing an online course. I just don't think I have those skills. Well, all of these are limiting beliefs. So part of the KBB method really focuses on mindset, helping you overcome your limiting beliefs. It focuses on a motivation, really helping you overcome whatever habits will limit you from taking massive action. And the entire community and all of the tools that they give you is really about also creating momentum. So Maya and I talk a lot about momentum, where we always want to make sure we're getting quick wins, we're moving forward, we're doing something every day that's going to benefit our desired outcome, which is we want to create a successful business to be able to impact more lives and help more people make a transformation. So this is the number one thing that the KBB method really focuses on, is massive action. Number two is it focuses on something called certainty. Because if you don't have absolute certainty that you can be successful, and again, we're talking about the KBB definition of success. If you don't have absolute certainty that you can succeed, then you're going to hesitate. You're going to lose momentum, and you may be distracted and lack focus, which means that because you're not 100% sure this is what you want to do, you're kind of going to be doing multiple things at the same time, almost kind of like trying to hedge your bet. So one of the things that the KBB method also provides is absolute certainty that you are on the path to success. And they do that by, first of all, they provide you the knowledge. And this is the training that I've been going through, that I've already gone through and I've implemented, and what I've been coaching Maya with over the past couple of months. And really it's about knowledge. It's how do you extract your unique knowledge, and they have tools and training to help you extract it. How do you fill your events, whether they're virtual events or or offline events, or it's a program, or it's a course? And how do you run your events, or run your programs, or run your courses? They give you the knowledge. It's the knowledge blueprint. It's the self-education blueprint that's in this KBB method. The second thing for certainty is you're certain that you have a market for your unique talents or your unique knowledge or superpower. And what that means is you've identified who is your avatar. Who am I speaking to? Who am I helping? Who am I coaching? Who am I training? Who am I empowering? They help you identify what and who your market is, and they also help you determine or find out where your audience and where your avatars congregate. So that gives more certainty that you are on the right journey and you're going to be able to be successful, because not only do you know how to extract your knowledge, fill your events, and run your events, you also know how to identify who you're marketing to and where they congregate, where online, okay? And then the third thing for certainty is they give you the marketing strategy, okay? They teach you and they show you step by step, not only how to connect with your audience where they congregate, but also how to engage with them, because you have to engage with the people that you're trying to serve in order to help them change their lives and to make a greater impact in more people's lives. So the number two thing about the KBB method is really about certainty. And then the third, and this is one of, again, all three are important and you can't really be successful with one without the other, but the third is effective execution. Okay, so if you have the knowledge and you know who you're serving and you know how to connect with them, then the final thing is, how do you execute your marketing strategy? How do you create your online programs? How do you set everything up? And how do you run the event? Okay, do you do it with virtual assistants? Is it things that you can do yourself? How do you choose what are the most critical things that you have to complete in order to keep your momentum going in order to achieve the success that we all aspire to achieve? So KBB really focuses on effective execution. And first of all, they do that because KBB is a blueprint for the self-education industry. The KBB method is the entire formula for success. Okay, so not only does this blueprint give you the formula for success, they also give you the tools, which is amazing. So as you go through the training and you learn how to extract your knowledge, you know how to run the events, fill the events, what questions to ask, how do you get your attendees energized to actually show up for your webinars and all of that stuff. And then they give you the tools to actually execute. So you promote, you engage, you create your landing pages, sales pages, and all of that. They provide you the tool. It's all included. Okay, so Maya, one of the things that, since you're kind of doing this KBB for the very first time, what you realize is kind of we didn't really do a really effective job of actually getting people on the webinar. Okay, because we had 16 people who registered, but essentially we only have 3 people that have actually showed up for the live event. So when we're doing the next one, we're going to try to implement more of the blueprint formula for success that the KBB shows you. So since you're just starting on this, this is also a great learning experience for you. All right. Now, the final thing that KBB really focuses on, it's, again, this is mindset. And Tony Robbins, he says this all the time. He just says, don't dabble, which means if you're not hungry to be successful in this journey, which means you're dabbling. Okay, that means, yeah, I have a full-time job. Yes, I have my own private coaching practice. So I'm just going to do a little bit, try to be successful online, try to create a few courses and see what happens. Tony Robbins calls that dabbling. And if you dabble, you are not going to be as successful as you can be because you don't have the commitment, you don't have the focus, you're not going to be able to maintain the momentum. And basically dabbling is a terrible habit if your goal is actually to be successful. So this is really the key, don't dabble. Become a knowledge broker, which means learn everything that Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi teach you in the KBB method, and get rewarded in public for what you practice in private. And what you practice is, this is basically your unique knowledge, your superpower, as they call it in the KBB method. You figure out and you extract what your superpower is, you repackage it in a way, you market it, and then you deliver it to somebody else, and you're helping other people transform their lives and create a new reality. All right, so I want to remind everybody who's either on the Zoom call today or watching the replay, I'm still, Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins are my mentors. I'm a KBB partner. I've been learning this stuff for almost a year, but I still have so much to learn, and so much to practice before I master this kind of knowledge business blueprint. So every time Dean and Tony go live, I'm really excited because they just deliver so much value when they go live. So I want to remind everybody, Maya and I will be sharing a registration link, I think probably around February the 20th. So you should mark this day in your calendar that there's going to be a live online training event with Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins and Russell Brunson live. They're going to be doing the training live on everything that KBB is and how it can help you transform. And also, there's going to be a live chat. So since you're not able to ask me questions here, you can get your questions answered directly from the people who have developed the gold standard of making self-education not only transformative, but also making it profitable. All right. We also have what we call, my name is Gene. We have the Gene's KBB Partners Journey Towards Success group. So this is a Facebook group where up until the 27th, you can start to ask questions. We're going to be offering a lot of kind of different ways to help you succeed in your business. We're going to be offering you additional bonuses for being in our group that are above and beyond the whole KBB community and what they teach. And this group is free. We just want a lot of people to join us who are all on this journey to be influencers, to create a successful online business together. And whether you join KBB or not, this community will exist where everybody's kind of sharing the next level or the next stage of their journey to create the success that we define in the beginning of this presentation. All right, so this is a really quick overview. Now, basically what I want to do is I just want to open it up for any questions. Again, we're going to be doing this again a week from today, the exact same time. So every time we do the training and we do these events, it's going to be a little bit different. And hopefully we get more people and more questions so we can really address some of the questions that you have about your own entrepreneurial journey. All right. So I'm going to stop share. Maya, you can unmute yourself. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but Saurin, if you have any questions, you can either type them to the chat or you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question. The other person already jumped off the call. So we still have one person here. Do you have any questions? I don't see you on video, so your video is off. But I may be able to hear you if you want us to speak. Okay. Hello, how do you pronounce your name?
Saurin.
Yeah. Okay. It's nice to meet you. I hope you learned something about what Maya and I are trying to share with everybody in India. Are you in India?
I am in Bombay, Mumbai.
In Bombay, okay. So I've been working with Maya for almost a year, and she's been learning the KBB method from me. And she said, this is something that we really want to share with other people in India. So that's the reason why
I think your voice is lost, Gene.
My voice is lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, Saurin couldn't hear you.
Okay, so I think I'm on my data, so I'm going to put my video on off and just keep the audio on. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. Can you hear me now, Maya?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good.
Okay. So it was thank you, Maya, for the invite. I really appreciate it. This is something I've been actually searching for in terms of a better understanding. Just as a background, Dean, I'm a writer,
Okay.
and since about 2 years or so, I've been writing since about 20 years now. I write poetry, I write stories, content as well as fiction. And I have been teaching, like you mentioned, in private. I've worked with nearly about, I think, 1,000 people so far, but everything has been offline.
Okay.
And I've tried figuring out the online space in terms of both live and recorded content.
I can hear you now. You can either, you got cut off a little bit, so I don't know what your final
Okay,
question was.
is this fine?
I can hear you
Yes.
again.
Am
Okay.
I audible? Yeah. Okay. So I am actually, I don't really have any question as such. I'm just looking forward to, what is it that we could do together. So I'm very much interested in knowing the next steps, and if I can manage it, both in terms of time, money, uh, the rest in terms of effort, knowledge. I'm good with all of that. If I can do this right away, I'll be more than happy to take the next steps. I'm looking forward to what comes next.
Okay, so Salman, let me tell you what comes next. What comes next? Well, I have a few questions for you, but what comes next
Sure.
is what comes next is for you to join our Facebook group, because in that Facebook
Sure.
group, it's basically a group of people who are exactly like you. They have something that they're really good at in private, but now they want to get rewarded and create a success for it by doing it in public.
Sure.
So join the Facebook group, and
I will do that right away.
yeah. And the second thing I want to ask you about is, okay, so you're a writer. You say you currently have. Do you do like workshops for other
Yes.
aspiring writers?
So I do workshops on creativity and workshops on writing skills, both content writing, which means non-fiction content, and story crafting, which means fiction. Also, I teach poetry. So the gamut of writing skills, I teach these from for 8 to 8 year olds, and even people who are as old as 60, 70. I've also done sessions for senior citizens for a television channel.
Okay, wow.
But it's all been mainly, it's all been very sort of very limited audiences.
Okay, but I think that's
Nothing
amazing.
online.
I think that's really impressive. So another question is, do you teach about creativity and writing as a full-time job or just as a part-time hobby?
I would say at the moment about I also mentor one-on-one. So between my one-on-one mentoring and my workshops, I think about 50% of my income, comes from the coaching and workshop and mentoring space, and the rest comes from me freelancing, with as a writer for clients. I would like to make this 100%, teaching.
Okay, let me ask you this. Now, when you do one-on-one coaching or one-on-one mentoring, is that related to the creativity and writing?
Yes.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
So thank you for coming and thank you for sharing. It sounds like what this whole journey that Maya and I are on, I think it just sounds like it's really perfect for you, and let me tell you why. It's because you are obviously very passionate about helping people unlock their creativity, helping people improve their writing skills, and you are currently kind of mentoring people one-on-one and kind of leading small groups to talk about how do you unlock your creativity, how do you become a better writer and stuff like that. Let me ask you one more question. Have you ever done anything online?
I lost you there, Gene.
Oh, my question is, have you ever done anything online? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Maya, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I
Yes,
think
there's one person joined.
so. I think
I can hear
Hi, Karan.
you too. Hi, Maya. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you on the call.
Thank you.
We're
Yes.
done with our presentation.
hi,
But
Karen. Welcome. Your
I'm so sorry. I had a very important deadline to meet, so that's why I had to finish that before I could jump onto the call. So my apologies for joining late.
No, Karen, that's perfectly okay. The good news is the part that you missed, it's all being recorded. So Maya's going to be able to
Okay.
share a replay with you for the, kind of the overview that we went over. And then we're going
Nice.
to do this again next week at the same time. So after
Right.
you watch the replay, if you have any questions, you can get back on the call next week and we can talk a little bit more about your particular situation.
I'm traveling at that time, so I'm not likely to be able to log in at that time. So
Well,
I was
Karan,
really
let
hoping
me
to catch
share
up.
a little bit about what you're doing.
Sure.
Teach some really interesting work.
So I don't know if you want to finish with Soren. He's back online. I'm quite happy to let that happen.
okay, yeah. Let me make one more final comment to Soren.
Yeah. So I did. So very quickly, I did put together an online sort of a module, but it was a total disaster. I honestly could not get even one person for it. A few people did inquire, but I think I kind of was completely bamboozled with the should I focus on more on the technology and just give it a go, and it was just overwhelming with all the other things that I was doing already in my existing workshop mentoring. So I kind of let that slide, and I've not honestly tried anything beyond that one attempt. I just don't see myself having that bandwidth. But when Maya sort of put this up, I said, hey, maybe this is now the time to relook this with a lot more seriousness. So honestly, no, nothing that really done online.
Okay, well,
Actually, Soren, I was in the same place as you a couple of years ago when I wanted to go online. And I dabbled with a lot of courses until I met with Jean.
Okay.
And then I was in a conversation with Jean, and when I told him, Jean, we really need to do something for the coaches and the experts in India, the knowledge experts, because I
Sure.
don't see any of them online, and I know they're all struggling just like me because there's nothing in India for us.
yeah. So
Brilliant.
I think Maya, thank you for sharing that.
Appreciate
I think that Facebook group, because not everybody is actually going to join the KBB, but everybody in the Facebook group, we're on this journey together. And I think Maya, one thing that you can share with Saurin and Karen is that you've been dabbling. I think everybody's been dabbling. Everybody is not hungry enough, and this is what Tony Robbins says: you don't have the right habits. You may have some limiting beliefs because you tried it and you failed. It got too complicated. The technology was, well, how do I make a good video? How do I go live? I just want to tell, Maya knows this, but since Saurin and Karen, I'm meeting you guys for the first time. The thing that you really have to understand is that this is what I call a journey towards success, which means that each step forward that we take gets us one step closer to the success that we all aspire to achieve. Now, Saurin, I think you have an advantage because you already coach people one-on-one and mentor people one-on-one. And that means what the people in your audience want from you. Okay. A lot of people they think they have some expertise, but they don't have enough feedback from their audience. They don't know how to speak the language that other people will be attracted to. And why is that important? Because one of the things that they really, really focus on KBB is marketing. Okay. You could have the best product, the best service. You could be the #1 expert in the world. But if you don't do your marketing right, you're not going to, #1, you're not going to reach people. And #2, even the people that you reach, you're not going to be able to grab their attention where they actually take action. So we talk all about That's everything that we talk about in KBB. They focus on the behavior and the habits that you need to be successful in this. And then they focus on marketing. How do I create the right message that people will want to click on my Facebook post? People are going to want to watch my video and they're going to want to listen. If they buy my course, how do I get them to actually complete the course? There's a statistic that says 93% of people who buy online courses never finish them. So the question is, how do you actually run your course? How do you run your event? How do you run your program? How do you create something that actually over delivers in value so people will want to actually finish your course? So again, Sal, I want to thank you for being on the call. We're going to do this call again next week. And once you're in the Facebook group, you can kind of, whatever you're trying to do, for example, I want to create my first video, or I want to reshoot my course, or I want to create an outline for my course, or I'm not sure how to, do marketing. What tools and technology do I need? You can post any of these questions in the Facebook group, and we can start to give you some ideas and guidance on the things that you need to familiarize yourself with, and then also you need to practice. So for example, for me to do this webinar, it's practice, right? How do I do the lighting? How do I do the sound checks? How do I do the recording? How do I remind myself to silence my cell phone? All of the things to do this on your own when you don't have a production team and you don't have people who are holding the microphone for you. You're an entrepreneur and you want to create this successful business on your own. These are all the skills that you need to, first of all, you need the knowledge, and then you need to develop the skills to actually execute. And again, this is what this KBB method is. I'm on this journey, so I haven't reached the ultimate success that I'm shooting for. And one of the ways that I think I can impact more people is to share this journey with more people, like with Maya. And we help keep each other accountable during our calls with other people. And we help each other keep the momentum going. All right. So thank you, Sal. So Karen, if you want to unmute now and share a little bit about what you're doing, I would love to hear what you're doing and see if this might be something that's also beneficial for you.
Yeah, so hi, Jean, and thank you, Maya, for this opportunity. Yeah, so I come from a very different background where we have done a lot of training programs. We are based in the social sector. So we work with women, social and green entrepreneurs, and we help them to kind of scale up their business. While training and capacity building is a part of the model that we have to work with entrepreneurs, we have really focused more on giving them market access, very much like what you just spoke about in terms of your KBB model. So we've been doing that for now 10 years. Other than working with entrepreneurs, we also work with corporate CSR programs, and we help to implement them. The reason I'm really on this call is because we've kind of started a new vertical where we feel we've kind of completed the triumph, so to speak, of creating social change. So while you need entrepreneurs who are innovative and resilient enough to kind of, walk the extra mile, you also need the large stakeholder groups through partnership to kind of provide the resources to scale initiatives. But ultimately, even after doing all that, you may not really be able to create large scale impact unless you get people themselves to kind of take ownership and do things. And so that's how our new vertical, which is on citizenship, has kind of evolved. Yeah,
You're exactly right. You can't
Yeah.
make an impact unless you get people to take action.
Absolutely. So that ownership and citizenship is really the last two components of our model that we have created, which is the RISE framework. And I have designed a few programs around this for students, because I think, that's where you start really. So for students, both in schools and colleges, And we're also looking to take the same program, or at least in some variant, to the corporate world for employees. So this is really what I'm looking to now kind of, let's say, fine tune, get feedback, validation, verification, whatever you'd like to call it, to really scale it up and look at how we can do something around it.
Yeah, you mentioned you said a lot of things that really resonate. You want to make a greater impact. You want your audience to take action. You can't really be socially conscious and make social impact, help the environment or whatever you're trying to do if you don't convince enough people that this is important and they need to take action, and kind of, you want to start a movement, and you want to,
Yes.
And so this is kind of really what KBB is all about. We didn't get into it in this one, but KBB is really all about, ultimately at the top of the journey, the final ultimate journey of KBB is to run a mastermind, okay? And that basically means that you're leading a group of people that have all become practitioners and experts in the exact same thing: social change, social entrepreneurship, whatever. So over the course of, I mean, you've been doing this for 10 years, so you may have a lot of people who they are no longer beginners. They have been doing this for 5-6 years. They're experts like you. And what happens is even though you may be the person who kind of brought everybody into this awareness, once people start practicing this, once they become engaged, they start to develop new methods or new ideas or new ways to be more entrepreneurial, to be more sustainable, to be more environmentally conscious, or whatever it is. And eventually you get all of these people into a kind of like a higher end mastermind, and you share ideas, and you collectively, you could grow together. Because when you're the person who started something, you have nobody else to kind of really learn from. And at that stage, what happens is then you learn from your peers. The cumulative knowledge and experience of everybody who is passionate about doing what you're doing, you start to learn from each other, and that mastermind just continues to build on that body of knowledge. And as you guys are creating new ways of getting more people involved, new ways of training people, that trickles down to getting more people into the cause or into the movement to take action. And that's really what the ultimate goal of KBB is to expand the community, is to create masterminds, and is to get more people into a movement of change and impact. So this is exactly what you described, is exactly where most people get stuck, and what we believe the KBB method will help you unlock. And again, I told Sauron this. Sauron's already off the call, but join our Facebook group. Some of the things that you mentioned, you've been doing this for 10 years now. Let me ask you a question. When you say we, who is we? Is it you and a partner, or is it you and an organization?
Organization.
It's an organization. So you are part of an organization who's trying to create this kind of social movement or change.
That's right.
Okay, so that's even better. So, I mean, what we believe is as long as somebody in your organization becomes a knowledge broker. So again, Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins will get more in the detail about that. But the KBB method serves two distinct groups of people. Okay, one group is coach, trainer, expert who wants to share their unique knowledge with the rest of the world. And that group of people, they become their own knowledge brokers. Okay, so they learn the marketing, they learn the strategy, they learn how to use the tools, they develop the successful habits, and they execute. And they're able to make a greater impact, sell more courses, enroll more students, run more successful programs. That's what that group is. The other group of people are the people who are just knowledge brokers, which means that I want to learn the KBB method, and then I want to partner with an expert. And we work together where the expert just shares the knowledge, gets on the call, gets on the workshop, provides the knowledge for the course, and then the knowledge broker markets it. I connect with the right audience. I help you bring a following in. I organize the community where you can engage with people that you serve. I'm going to help you create your course. I'm going to help you package your course. I'm going to help you market your course. I'm going to help you figure out how to collect money and impact more lives. One is you become a knowledge broker for yourself, and the other is you become a knowledge broker for someone else, or in your case, for your organization. So that's kind of what this KBB is all about. So yeah, so I'm glad to have you here. I think the training on February 27th will really give you a lot more ideas on the areas where you're getting stuck. It's almost like what Sauron said. I tried to do it myself, but I wasn't really successful. Well, that's not because Sauron isn't special. That isn't because he doesn't have a unique expertise that can impact a lot of lives. It just means he didn't have the knowledge, he didn't have the tools, didn't have the community, and he didn't have the right habits to successfully execute and have the momentum to move forward and to actually create the success. And that's the reason why Maya and I are here. This is why Dean and Tony, they go live all the time in the Facebook, in the KBB Facebook community, and you're always getting training and inspiration and motivation from them. By the way, did you see the video that I put together where I talk about my own experience? So Maya, you need to make sure you share that with everybody, because
okay, yeah, I didn't share with anyone, Gene.
Oh, well, when you do your video, it's going to have my video in there. So I created a video about my own experience, about my own journey, about my own struggles to do exactly what you're doing. I'm also trying to make an impact in the world. I'm also trying to help people with my unique knowledge, and I also struggle. And you can see I've been doing this for about 2 years. Maya's only been doing it for less than 1 year. And we have not yet reached the final success we want, because you're never going to reach the final success, because the goal is never ending. You always want to reach more people. You always want to impact more lives. You always want to get more people involved in the movement that you're trying to create. So success is always somewhere out there, and we're all kind of on the journey to success to continuously get there. And I just want to share that video because I recorded about a 3-minute video that talks about my own mission in life, my why, my greater purpose, and how I've been on this journey to create a successful online business around that.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for letting me know.
Yeah.
I'll put the Facebook page, group, I'm sorry, and look at that. And yeah, I'll be in touch with Maya as well. Find out more about it. So thank you very much
for joining in, even if it was late.
Maya, you have anything you want to share with not only Karen, who's still on this call, but anybody who's watching the replay? Do you have anything you want to share about your own experience?
The idea that I have is, how do we, Gene, in India, because we don't have the KBB or things like that, what is a way for trainers and coaches in India to influence and impact their communities?
Well,
because
so the way, and this
working in titles.
Yeah. So the way to do it is exactly the question that Karen had. Okay, so if you want to impact your community, you want people to take action. You want people to be more engaged. You want people to be more involved. There's an entire module in KBB about, so what I said in the beginning, it's how to extract it, which is what's special about you, how to fill it, which means how to get people to register, how to get people into your workshop, how to get people to sign up for your course, how to get people to attend your event. And then the final module is to run it. Okay, you can get everybody into a webinar, but if you don't get them excited and you don't convince them that this is something that's beneficial, then people are just going to say, okay, yeah, that really didn't meet my expectations. So you're going to lose people. The KBB method, module 3, which is run it, they teach you step by step with tools, with a blueprint, with questionnaire, and with different things that you can do to create what they call just an awesome event that over delivers on value. It keeps your audience hungry. They want more, and they can't wait for your next event because they had so much impact and so much fun and so much engagement, and they got so much value out of the event that you hosted. You know, I always thought that I was great in front of an audience, which means I used to do like workshops and lectures. I'm also an instructor, so I teach at universities and stuff like that. I always thought I was great at that. But it wasn't until I took the KBB module that I figured out all the things that I was leaving out of my workshops and events to really get people engaged, to get people thinking, to make it not just a lecture where I'm the only one talking, but everybody has an activity. Everybody knows exactly why they're there. Everybody feels like they're involved in the event and they're participating. And even before they go to the event, what questions have they asked in their minds? What are they looking forward to before they even come to the event? And then how do you make sure that they're in the right mindset of it being excited and ready to come to your event? And when they come to your event, you over deliver and you exceed their expectations, and they can't wait for whatever else you have to offer. This is what that module, the Run It module in KBB, taught me. And I'm just dying to run my next event so I can start implementing the things that I left out. I've been doing this, I've been teaching, training, coaching for 20 years, but I never knew I could do it better. And that's kind of what this knowledge business blueprint has kind of opened my eyes. But the thing to keep in mind is it's not an overnight success, which means there are so many different things that you can just drag and drop. Again, this is the MindMint software. Dean and Tony will go over the software. You can just drag and drop your entire agenda for your event, whether it's a 3-day retreat or a half-day workshop or an online course. You can drag and drop the different elements that you learn. You can drag and drop them directly into it. Suddenly, that's on your agenda. And then the software gives you reminders on when you ask these questions and when do you survey your audience. It's just so comprehensive, where the people at the top of the knowledge self-education industry, the people who've been doing it, Tony and Dean have been doing it for 60 years, they are running $100,000, even $1 million masterminds and events. They are at the top. And what they've done is they've extracted everything that they have learned and continue to learn from 60 years of experience, and they've put it into this KBB method. They put it into this course. They put it into this program. They built a community around it. And you can just see all the energy and excitement once you get into the group of how everybody is just creating their own success. And one of the things that, because I'm a partner, so they basically said that when you talk about KBB to other people, don't talk about money, because we don't make promises that we can't guarantee. And whenever you make a money promise, for example, even if Dean was just saying this live the other day, even if you ran a workshop and you made $50,000 in your first event, you don't want to say that, because even though it's true, it may not happen the way it happened for you, for somebody else. And then what you've done is you've set somebody else up for disappointment. So they're very, very ethical in the way they market themselves. You can see that in this training that I provided. And Karen, when you see the replay of the overview that I provided, I talk about their definition of success, and none of it involves money. But one of the things that we want to do is we want to learn how to charge people for what we have to offer, because psychologically, if I give you something for free, you're not going to value it and you're not going to give it the attention it deserves. If I really want to make an impact in your life, I need to charge you, because once you pay me, then you're going to actually go through the program. You're going to listen to my advice and you're going to implement it. So I can't help you by giving you something for free. I can only help you if I ask you to pay for something that's proportionately equivalent to the value that I'm going to deliver or the value that I promise. And then I over deliver, and you're happy and I'm happy. You've made the transformation that you want to make. I've earned money to reinvest in my business so I can impact more lives and help more people. This is the KBB culture, and this is the KBB method.
Thank you.
Yep. So Maya, I want to thank you for sharing this knowledge with people in India. Again, we're just getting started. This is only the first session. We got another session coming up. Try to get more people in the Facebook group. I'm going to post a replay of this session in the Facebook group, so everybody who's missed it can actually watch it. The people who you have their emails who registered for the event, summarize kind of what we said today, and send them the video, and then again, remind them to join the Facebook group. The Facebook group is free. I'm going to be offering a lot of, even these Zoom sessions. I'm going to be doing weekly free Q&A coaching calls with people who are just starting, and I can answer their questions, give them advice, keep them motivated, and make sure that everybody is moving forward in their journey towards success.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jean. Thanks, Karen.
Thanks, Maya. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Take care, Karen. I'm going to end this call now. Thank you, Maya. We'll chat soon, and I'll post the video and give everything to you so you can actually start sharing it with more people in Bombay or in India.
Absolutely, because I think I learned what I need to do now is a little more engagement to get them on the call.
Yes. Well, like I said, it's a journey. You have to practice. Even how you engage with people, it's practice. You don't become an expert at anything without practice. And you don't practice something that you don't believe in. That's why you need to get rid of all your limiting beliefs. You believe that it will work for you. You believe that it will work for your community or your tribe. And then you practice how to deliver that message more effectively to more people. That's the key to success.
Right.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care, guys. Thank you. Yep. Bye-bye.